Hey everybody. As you've probably heard by this time, Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son and an established author in his own right, is getting ready to publish King Sorrow, which is his first published novel in 9 years. The last one was The Fireman from 2016. And if you're like me, you consider Joe to be the clear heir apparent to Stephen King's throne. I've loved everything that he's ever written, with a few small exceptions. He's got really interesting and original ideas and is every bit as skilled a writer as his dad to be able to see his ideas through to fruition. And while he's prolific, he doesn't publish books at nearly the same rate as his dad because he's involved with more things, directly involved with TV, with movies, with graphic novel series, of which probably the most famous is Lock and Key, which was recently adapted into a really cool TV series. And while this channel is called SK First Editions and primarily focuses on the works of Stephen King, it has always been my intention to include Joe Hill within the scope of the channel. Joe Hill's published works, which Noah and I will get to at some point in the future, as well as news and updates related to Joe Hill, which is what today's video is all about. There's a bookstore, an independent bookstore in Exeter, New Hampshire called Water Street Books that has a really unique and special arrangement with Joe Hill. So the deal is with Water Street, you can go on their website and basically anything Joe Hill that they have in stock, you can order through their website and you can request that it be signed by Joe Hill. So all of these purchases, all of these items, they take them and they set them aside. And every so often, once a month, once every 6 weeks, maybe more, Joe Hill comes to the shop and he signs all of the things that people have purchased and set aside for him to sign. And the really beautiful thing about this is that he signs these items at no extra charge. So we all know that a Stephen King signature can bring a premium of hundreds of dollars. So it's fantastic that Joe does this basically for free. And while I've heard the old joke now in the Stephen King and Joe Hill collecting community that it's harder to find something that Joe Hill hasn't signed as opposed to something he has, that's not true. And he's been in the game long enough now that his older signatures are bringing quite a premium. A few years ago, after I found out about Water Street Books and their arrangement with Joe Hill, I purchased a couple of things from their website and I requested that they not only be signed, but personalized. And they were very clear on their website that personalization doodles are not guaranteed. So I fully knew that going in. But I got a couple of graphic novels. I got the first edition of Lock and Key. And this is a 12th printing, as you can tell by the number line. But right there, Mark, lock on Joe Hill, and it's doodled. Fantastic. So the cover price, the list price on this is $24.99. So that's how much it would have cost. Water Street doesn't really do deep discounted books like you would find at Walmart. So that could be a bit of a surprise if you're used to getting books at a deep discount, even on publication day. They usually charge list price. But for $24.99, I have this brand new book, not a first edition, but it's still really nice, hardcover. And it was signed, personalized, and doodled by Joe Hill at no extra cost. I also got this graphic novel, Basket Full of Heads. I love that title. And I'm actually unsure what printing this is. There's no indication that I can see on the copyright page, which might mean that it's a first. That would be pretty neat, but not a deal breaker either way. And this was also signed, personalized to me, Mark, Best, Joe Hill, 2020. It's a little bit hard to tell the date, 2020. So I guess this was 5 years ago that I got these. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. But anyway, this is another $24.99 list price. So $24.99 or basically $50 for both of these together, plus shipping, and 2 really cool personalized inscriptions from Joe Hill directly to me, free of charge. So long story, even longer, if you want to get a signed, personalized, potentially doodled first U.S. trade hardcover edition of Joe's new novel, King Sorrow. For list price, $38, you can go to the Water Street website and you can order it. And here in a minute, I'm going to go over to my computer and I'll kind of walk you through what that process looks like. And because Joe only comes into the shop every so often, it may take you a while. It may take several weeks to actually receive your book, but Water Street packs with care and it will be well worth the wait. This is a really unique and interesting opportunity to add something really cool and really personal to you to your collection. So let me get set up at my computer. I'll be right back with you and I will show you how this works.
And now a word about our sponsor.
For over 20 years, StephenKingCollector.com has been the internet's go-to source for all things Stephen King. From breaking news and real-time sales updates from around the internet, to forums where you can connect with like-minded collectors, to information about first editions as well as highly sought-after and rare limited editions, StephenKingCollector.com has it all. Additionally, the collector sells custom slipcases to protect your most valuable and cherished treasures. The collector now offers book sales directly through the website and an all-around upgraded and improved payment system. With improvements and updates happening on a regular basis, there's always something new to see and experience at StephenKingCollector.com. The link to the site is in the description for this video. You should go check it out. You'll be glad you did. Okay, so here we are at the Water Street Bookstore homepage, waterstreetbooks.com. This is what it looks like. They have a wide range of stuff, and there they are, advertising. Pre-order a signed, personalized first edition copy of Joe Hill's King Sorrow. So it's kind of hard to miss. It's right there on the homepage, but you can go to books, signed books, and I think the list is a bit shorter than what I've seen it in the past. But Joe Hill, Paul Durham, Keith O'Brien, Ginger Johnson, and then signed copies of The Worry Tree is Waiting. You can get all of these here. We'll say browse all on the Joe Hill. So basically everything that he's published, Full Throttle, Strange Weather, are collections, Fireman, Nosferatu, Horns, Heart-Shaped Box, all fantastic novels, well worth checking out. 20th Century Ghosts, whole bunch of Lock and Key graphic novels here. So $19.99, $24.99. You can order these and Joe will sign them. The $18.99 paperbacks, but Joe will sign them and you'll receive them a couple months after order, which is really, really, really cool. So I don't see King Sorrow on the list, but I'm going to search for it, although it was advertised on the homepage. Yeah, there you go. Last time I checked, the price was $38. Now it is $40, but that might actually be the list price because this is 896 pages. So that is going to be a big chunky boy of a novel. Available formats: hardcover, digital audio, or signed hardcover. You switch to signed hardcover and the price doesn't change. It's still $40. So you can enter your preferred inscription here, content limited to 200 characters. So you could say something like, to Mark, I am your #1 fan and I appreciate all that you have done for my career. Love always, Joe Hill. God, now that I read that back, that's actually kind of creepy. Never mind. Anyway, I think this is just for show. I'm not actually going to push this through. I'm not actually going to order it. And I don't actually know what Joe would make of this inscription request. He might think it was hilarious and copy it down, or he may just just sign his name. Be like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then you basically just go through the order process as usual. Check out, enter all your stuff, create an account, what have you. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You can go to waterstreetbooks.com and you can get a new copy of the upcoming novel, King Sorrow, which will be published in October, signed, personalized, what have you, for $40. Or you can build up your Joe Hill collection by ordering older titles that are now in multiple printings or in paperback, but it's a great way to add those items to your collection, especially if you're a fan of Joe Hill. And it's also a great way to support an independent bookstore like Water Street Books, which apparently has been around since 1991. So about almost 35 years for that store, which is really cool. So I hope you found this video useful. Please let me know in the comments if you are looking forward to King Sorrow. Let me know if you are a huge fan of Joe Hill or if you've never taken the plunge and read any of his work. Also let me know, no judgment, nobody will make fun of you, I promise. Also let me know if maybe you weren't even aware that Joe Hill was Stephen King's son. It seems unlikely in this day and age, but it was a pretty well-kept secret for at least a few years at the beginning of Joe's career. Also let me know if you're planning to pick up a copy from Water Street. That would be really cool. It's always a good thing to support an independent bookstore, and it's such a fantastic, beautiful thing that Water Street and Joe Hill together have done for the collecting community to offer this service, these signed books at no additional cost above the list price. Once I found out about that, I mean, I just couldn't believe it until I experienced it for myself. And it sounds too good to be true, but it's not. It is true. And I highly recommend that you check it out if you are so inclined. But anyway, thanks to channel sponsor Thomas over at skcollector.com. Thanks to channel member at the Mr. N. Dean. I really appreciate your support. And thank you to you, the viewers, the subscribers, for your support of me and of the channel. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Bye.